Hello, grant writing class. I'm Grace Humke, as you can probably see in the, little thing on top of this video. And I am going to talk to you today about the interview that I had with Sonja Lowe, who is the resident dramaturg and grant writer at Taproot Theatre in Seattle. Now, I should probably, before I go too much further, explain what a dramaturg is, because not everybody outside the world of theater really knows what that is. Dramaturg is someone who researches a play. It's a research position within theater so that whenever someone produces a play, they can make sure that they're doing what they're doing historically accurately, and also they look through the text to see if anything new can be done with it. Like you would use a dramaturg to read through a Shakespeare play to sort of find parallels between 1500s England and, say, the war in the Middle East or something, to find out if you could set a play during a different time to keep it relevant. So that is one of the things that Sonja does, and she also writes grants for Taproot since it is a nonprofit theater. Sonja, the most fascinating thing I found out about her is that she started as a dramaturg at Taproot like 8 years ago, but was only offered the grant writing position about 2.5 years ago. So she got the position without actually having any training in grant writing. They just really liked the way she was able to convey a story, which, you see in dramaturgy, because you have to be able to paint a certain historical time period really well. And so they really liked her work in doing that. And so they hired her to be a grant writer because they thought she could tell Taproot's story really well. I found that really fascinating that she didn't actually have any experience in grant writing, but was still able to get the job, and that particular company trusted her with that, which is a really, really good testament for me and any others not necessarily majoring in something like nonprofit management, but wanting to have that option open. So that was really cool. And she explained to me kind of the basics of what grants a small to medium theater company would apply for. And she told me this year she has a plan to apply for 42 grants from various organizations. She said about half of them are foundations, and then sort of 15-ish are corporations that she wants to do partnerships with, and then about 4 are government agencies. And I found out she expects about 15 total probably to donate. Um, there's about half of the foundation she applied for, she thinks that she'll probably get, and she applied for about 20-ish foundations, so she's thinking 10 will probably respond. And then with government agencies, she's pretty confident with those. She thinks most of them will probably offer money, but she's not very ambitious about corporate partnerships, partially because that's fairly new for Taproot. They haven't done a lot of corporate partnerships in recent history, and so she's just starting to figure out what they're kind of looking for in any kind of proposal. It was really, really fascinating. She also said, grant writing, you have to be very patient. That'll be quite the challenge for me. But she she said it may take months, close to a year, to even hear back about a grant. And so you have to be able to sort of accept rejection and make changes on that months and months after you have made that mistake, or written that grant that wasn't effective. So you have to be able to sort of be in a constant state of learning and figuring things out. Which is really interesting, and I hadn't really thought much about with grant writing, is that you have to be very patient. You can't just always move on to the next thing. The other thing that and I put this in my paper, but that I thought was really cool, was when I asked her what her biggest accomplishment was. She was worried because at first she wasn't sure she was answering the question right, but it was a great answer. She talked about how every year she usually gets, since she became a grant writer, she usually gets one foundation to become a new donor. A lot of them have donated to Taproot hundreds of times in the past, but usually she gets one new foundation to donate, and she's exceptionally proud of that because that means that the story that she told about this theater company really struck a chord with them, and that made them really want to give their money to the company, which I thought was really cool. That's an excellent thing to take pride in. Yeah, I this will help my proposal greatly. I have so much more information to work with now. It's fantastic. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully talk to you guys soon.